Today, about 2,000 residents on the island, and then in the future, TIDA and the Board of Supervisors have adopted development plans that would make Treasure Island ultimately home to up to 25,000 people with neighborhood retail and a lot of open space on the island and other sort of visitor destinations on the island. Transportation is one of the sort of really challenging aspects. How we can minimize new traffic congestion. Also how to provide better travel options on and off the island. And then finally how to pay for the ongoing operating of that transit. Raising enough revenue to fund the ongoing operations of the new services. It's from a congestion toll, from parking fees. In this case, Treasure Island will be different in that all of that revenue will go towards Treasure Island transit specifically. Everything would be centered around this new intermodal transit terminal, which would be over by where the administration building currently is, the semicircular building. And there would be a stop, the ferry terminal, a stop for the AC transit, and also a stop for Muni, other things that are called for, like an on-island shuttle, bike share. There's to be a new AC transit route that would go to Oakland. And then finally a ferry, which would go from this intermodal terminal to the ferry building in downtown San Francisco. When, is the toll going to come, and how will that affect me? The toll is not to be in place 24/7 at all times. It's supposed to be a way to manage and encourage people to take their drive trip during off-peak time, in addition to helping to raise revenue. At this point, the only committed operating revenue sources that we have are the toll, the parking revenues, and the funds from transit fares or transit pass purchases. So the challenge is, can we identify other sources that would be committed, as operating sources? Whether you're a resident or a non-resident, if you're driving during those peak times, that you would be paying the toll. If you're in transit, if you're on a shuttle, or whether it's a private bus or a nonprofit provided shuttle or van pool of any kind, those do not pay, because that's what we're trying to encourage, right? Which ways, on and off, but if you're driving from the East Bay to Treasure Island, right, you have paid a toll at the Bay Bridge Toll Plaza. So there's no paying twice, so you get credit for that. We recommend a program for frequent transit users. Each time you take transit, you're getting credit towards a toll payment. So if you're able to take transit 5 times, then that's a toll. That equals a toll, basically. Bicyclists and pedestrians, eventually when we get that west side bike and ped path span also exempt. So the parking, transit fares, and what people are going to pay in the fare box, and then any other revenue sources that we're able to get committed. Ultimately, we want new services to start in 2019. So we'd like to figure out this question, at least for the first few years, in the 2018 year timeframe. Similar situation for when the toll is in place. For the traffic management and congestion management purpose, that means we need this in place during peak periods. Is it just a 3-hour period in the AM and the evening? And it also depends on revenue needs. And then number 3, for longtime residents, a round trip daily toll that's subsidized for these households by the program. So it's one round trip, drive trip, that these households can make without needing to pay the toll, to recognize that these folks haven't opted in to the program.
We have the new Transbay Terminal going up, which AC Transit is also involved in that. And my question is San Francisco fitting that bill alone, or is Oakland City government involved in that too, because they are sharing part of the building because of their transportation? That being said, if you have all these entities who are part of that Transbay Terminal, why is it not covered under Treasure Island, to where Treasure Island should not have to pay when they're the whole Transbay Terminal and we're just a small little piece of the pie?
The primary service that is going to require significant subsidy is the ferry service.
Low-income people, people that's been here for years, you know, we didn't foresee this stuff happening. We really can't afford this stuff. But I do foresee people coming over here who are a little bit more wealthy and that don't mind paying that, right? So to me, I don't know, I just see it as a way to weed people out.